For this part of the algebra expansion, I'm just introducing you the idea of basic algebra expansion that you're going to learn in Set 2. Okay, so whatever you learn in, so this method, the basic method, right? Okay, so maybe I should write that down first. So this is a basic method. And for this basic method, sometimes we'll call it the arrow method, or sometimes we'll call it the rainbow method, whichever method that you might hear when your teacher refers to it. So basically in Set 1, you already learned this kind of expansion. So each arrow represents a multiplication. So basically this is something that you learn. When you do the multiplication, you need to take note of the sign. So negative, negative become positive. Okay, so that is where some of you will make careless mistake. So you learn this in Set 1. And this example is like a Set 1 example. So you should try to do extension. So I will not be showing. So you try the expansion. So for this whole example 1, I'm expecting that you got no careless mistake. So this is essentially Set 1 work. So example 1 is Set 1 work. So you should have 0 careless mistake. Okay, so that is our Set 1 work. So in Set 2, we are going to learn the expansion where you got double bracket. So when you got double bracket, you kind of take turn. So you use the first one and you multiply to the second bracket. Then you will use the second one and multiply to the bracket. So in each bracket, there are 2 terms. So you end up, after the arrow method, right, you end up having 4 terms. So the first 2 terms will come from the first guy here. The first guy is multiplied to the bracket. Then the second guy is multiplied to the bracket. So that contribute the third and the fourth term. And then from there, you're supposed to simplify. So for some of you, right, you may want to see it in this way. So this is an option. So for the first guy, multiplied to the first bracket, to the bracket. Then the second guy, multiplied to the bracket. So some of you might prefer to do it that way so that you don't have careless mistake. So in the situation where you got a bigger bracket, so if you take a look, the second bracket is a bigger bracket because there are 3 terms inside. So the first term, the first bracket is just 2 terms. So in such a case, right, you are also going to take turn. So you take the first guy here, multiply to the bracket. So you'll get the first 3 terms. So the first 3 terms is like the first guy multiply to the whole bracket. Then you change to the other guy, multiply to the same bracket. So this part will be the second guy, multiply to the bracket. So you look at the number of terms in each bracket. So 2 and 3, right, you end up having 6 terms. So if your bracket is very huge, you will have a lot of terms. And when you simplify a lot of terms, you will end up having a lot of chance of making careless mistakes. Okay, so please complete example 1. And I'm going to be showing you example 2. So okay, how am I going to show you example 2? So you take the first guy and multiply to the bracket. So if you mentally multiply, right, you will have gotten this. Then you change to the other guy, multiply to the same bracket. And from there, you simplify. From there, you simplify the like terms. So if you are very good, you will end up able to mentor this out. So there are some people, that once they are used to it, they can actually mentor this out. So if you are very prone to careless, right, I suggest please no. Please do step by step. Okay. So for the second one, it's a bigger expansion. So if you explore the second one, you realize that this part looks like the set one work. So we're going to add in a bit of set one work together with the set two work. So you need to be very organized. Remember the equal sign. So I'm going to take the first guy, multiply to the whole bracket. Hopefully by now, right, all these you can mentor without careless mistake. You should have a high expectation of yourself to do this kind of execution with no careless mistake. So we change to the other guy. The other guy is the negative one. So you'll get this. So those who cannot do this, right, usually they got a lot of careless mistake. So you got to make sure your sign error, you don't have sign error. And then now you try to simplify. When you simplify the highest power first. So in this case, I got a minus 2x squared. 15 minus 2 plus 6. You can punch calculator. 15 minus 2 plus 6. And you got a number. So you have to achieve 100% no careless. So let's explore part C. So for this part of the expansion, you will find your teacher will complete this expansion thing very fast because it's so basic. So you take the first guy, multiply, take the second guy and multiply. And do your set one expansion here. Again, you group the highest power first. Then you look at the x. Then you look at the number. So there is a lot of chance for you to make careless mistake. You just have to be super mindful. But let me tell you, this one is a very simple thing and you should aim for no careless. Technically, it's not very difficult. You just have to be very mindful. So next one, again, same thing. I will take the first guy and I will multiply. Take the second guy and multiply. and then do your sec 1 extension here. So again, I will group the highest power first. Be a bit organized. That will minimize careless as well. Then 3x minus 3x gone. And I got a 6x. And 1 minus 3 is a minus 2. So it's up to you whether you want to ensure that you got no careless. So you got to learn to check for careless.